Hello everyone, this is the man in the flannel here, bringing you my first ever video here on YouTube. And just as the title says, this video is going to be used primarily just as an introduction to tell you who I am and what I plan on doing on YouTube. First of all, a little something about myself personally. My first name is Joey. I still am currently attending high school, but do not think any less of me because of that. Just because the number of my age may be small does not mean that my knowledge of things that I'm going to be talking about is also small. So, as you can see in front of you, this is primarily what I'm going to be talking about. No, not old school RCA TVs. No, I'm going to be talking about Nintendo games and things that, well, I think that people who are into Nintendo games may also find interesting. Such as this here little, if I can get the camera to show it, this here little mailbox with the modern day Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles on it, which I think is pretty cool. Now, when I say Nintendo games, I primarily mean modern Nintendo games. I will be doing a number of videos on Wii U and 3DS games, whether they be unboxings, countdowns, or even small reviews. As you can see here, the budget for my show is not exactly as high as it could/should be, but I still think that it's the heart that counts. A lot of the YouTube videos that I have seen, and a lot of the YouTubers that I enjoy personally, happen to have very small budgets. Just sticking a camera in front of items so that you can see them talk about it. And of course, you don't necessarily have to see their face. I like a little bit of privacy in life, so I'm not going to be showing my face at all, at least in the near future. Maybe if I lose a little bit of weight, because as you can see by my fat sausage fingers, I am quite large. I also have extremely long hair, which you may see creep into the video sometimes. Now, when I say that I'm going to primarily be talking about Nintendo games, that's exactly what I mean. Now, that doesn't mean that every now and then I won't talk about a PlayStation 3 game, which I actually am really enjoying the PlayStation 3 right now. I've actually gotten mine in the last year, which again goes to show my loyalty to the Nintendo brand. But just because I prefer Nintendo games does not mean that I am, per se, a Nintendo fanboy. If anything, I think that my love for Nintendo allows me to be a little bit more critical to them at times, such as perhaps the downfall of the Wii U over the past number of months, and also the initial downfall of the, upside down, Nintendo 3DS from when it was first released. Now, as you can see here, I picked out a couple of my favorite games from the Wii U and the 3DS to show you. To be exact, I picked out my favorite game from each console. Here in front of me is Super Mario 3D World for the Wii U. I actually just finished this game this past week. I picked it up around Valentine's Day, and I absolutely love it. I actually just bought a poster this past weekend to celebrate my victory, which has pretty much this cover art on it with a little bit more detail and a little bit more extensive art on it, and I think it looks great. And one day when I give you a room tour, once I've gained a little bit more of a following, I will show you all my posters and the various items in my game room, which is quite cool. As you can see here, just tucked away in this little corner, I have a stack of game boxes and also some retro games. Now, when I say that I'm going to primarily be talking about modern Nintendo, the only reason that I'm doing that is so that I can get away with doing unboxings and countdowns. If I were to do countdowns on various older games, then I might be looked down upon because my knowledge of retro games does not go beyond what I own. What I own is what I know, and if I don't own it, then I've never played it because I don't believe in emulators. I mean, I know that they exist, I just choose not to use them. And here we have my favorite 3DS game to date, Donkey Kong Country Returns 3D. I'm actually very excited to pick up Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze for the Wii U in just a couple of weeks. The reason that I like this game so much is just because it is very challenging, but it's very rewarding at the same time. The music is great, and I hear that the music in Tropical Freeze is a lot more similar to the music of the first three Donkey Kong Country games, which is awesome. Now, also a little background. My favorite game of all time does not include either of these characters. However, my second favorite game of all time is Donkey Kong 64. My favorite game of all time, which I don't actually have it out right now, which may have been a mistake, and I will learn from these mistakes as time goes on, but my favorite game of all time is from a Sony console. In fact, it is a PlayStation 1 exclusive game. And also the PlayStation 1 is one of my favorite consoles, if not my favorite console of all time, probably because it was my first. My favorite game of all time is Crash Bandicoot 2. Not the first one, and not the third one. The second one. Why do I like that game so much? Well, again, it could just be nostalgia, and plus I played it when I was a lot younger, although I may accidentally say I played it in my childhood a few times during this show. But really, we still know if you're in high school, you're technically still a child. I'm willing to admit that. But that does not mean that since I'm technically still a child, that my mind, as I have said before, is not on a mature level. I will be able to talk about these games from a mature, almost adult-like standpoint, but I will still be extremely critical to them at the same times in my countdown videos. In my unboxing videos, I will just be doing that, unboxing the games, which I know that some people find kind of hokey, that you're just showing a, a box with a disc inside, but, you know, if there's some artwork to show, then that makes it just that much better. For example, here we have the Super Mario 3D World. It's not really a manual, per se, but it is. Almost showed my Club Nintendo pin. It's okay, I've already used it, so don't worry about even bothering. But in here you see some various controls and things of that nature, and that's what I'll be talking about in my unboxing videos. I think that manuals are really underrated these days, and I know why they don't have them anymore, just to simply save on paper, but I would like to see them make a comeback. Anyway, guys, this video has gone on for about 7 minutes, which means it's going to take about 9 hours to fully upload to YouTube, seeing as how I am just recording straight from my Samsung Galaxy 3 directly onto YouTube from the YouTube app for my phone. So, with that being said, this was just a little introduction to me. You can follow me on Twitter at man_in_the_flan. Not flannel, just F-L-A-N, and the first letter of every word is capitalized. Yes, I know that that's a bit complicated. I'll write it out in my next video and show you it on a piece of nice cardboard, hopefully, if I can find some. So anyway, guys, be sure to follow me on YouTube. In the words of Lithium, fill up that light bucket down there. And thank you guys so much for watching. Have a great day. I'll see you around.